Hey everyone, welcome to part 2 of this episode. We're interviewing Tommy Dawson, just having some conversations about fitness and really all sorts of things. We just kind of wanted to rap about it for a little bit, but go back and catch our part 1 if you haven't yet. It's really all about community and what fitness can mean to your life and the parallels between fitness and spirituality, which I think are super fascinating. But today, for this conversation, I think Tim was a little frustrated with where Russ was taking the last conversation.
I was?
So if you could clarify this.
I wasn't frustrated.
You said it got too spiritual. And you're
Oh,
like,
no,
it
I
doesn't
did not.
matter.
I saw
Stop.
you pinching him under the table.
Stop.
I wasn't frustrated.
Oh.
What do you mean?
If you pinch me,
think
you
we
would get
need to-
6% body fat.
I
I'm just
think we
telling
need
you right now.
to.
Stop looking at me like that. Listen, for everybody that is watching this, they are talking from
off the rails
experience.
already.
I am talking from the past. I
Oh
used to be
my
in shape.
gosh.
I used to know this.
Oh
I used
my
to practice
gosh.
it.
Back
All right, so what we're
Are
gonna
we
do?
done?
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go around the thing. Let's okay. A couple things. Let's say how much you weigh.
Are
Let's
you
see
kidding?
how many-
Are you kidding?
Let's say what your BMI is.
Bad idea.
Let's say no. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I did think it would be.
Of course, you want to
fun-
say that. You lost 70 pounds on keto in the last 4 months.
I did not. Stop. You're lying.
How much you lose?
I did not lose 70 pounds.
Are we going to talk about your history on the juice, or we're going to leave that for part
The
3?
juice.
I do not have a history of juice.
Immediately.
I do not have a
Had
history.
low
It's pretty obvious.
testosterone since 22.
Let's talk about some practical things in this one. It was a great conversation, again, just about community, because going to a gym, I want to just say this, has always felt like an additional community to me. I've had community within the church my entire life, and obviously starting this church. But one of my favorite communities outside of it that I have found has been the gym. And I used to work out with a group of guys, or a group of guys that still go to the Lifetime that I used to work out, the one you go to all the time. And there was something about, even some of them I would see, even if I wasn't working out specifically with them, but I would see them and talk to them every morning, and it did kind of bring a sense of accountability. Where's so-and-so? Where's Chris at? So I do think that there's a beautiful community and a parallel, but let's talk a little bit about some practical things, because I imagine that, it runs the gamut of people who listen or watch this, and there's some who maybe, you obviously talked about how much you love physical fitness and you love the process. All of us here like to work out or do certain aspects of it, so we could probably all talk about what do you get out of it? Why don't we start there, since you tried to throw it on me? What do you get out of working out? What's your routine like? Why don't you tell what your routine's like
Bring it
for
on.
working out, and why do you do it?
Well,
That's
I'll
your
say
question.
this. Trying to find the workout rhythm since having kids, I think, has been the huge. There's a lot of people pre-kids that have a certain workout routine, and so I'd say to all the parents out there,
Don't give up. Just
give yourself a little bit of grace as far as like how you're going to get back into a rhythm if you're
at
out
least
of it.
3 weeks.
I think that moms give themselves a super hard time.
They do.
And, because
Because they want to look back like what they did before, maybe, and it's like your whole body just changed.
and it's hard to compare your life pre anything to post anything,
Right.
especially with something as big as a life change as having kids or getting married or moving cities or whatever your life transition is. I think that for me, my biggest hurdle in fitness was always, I think that having kids was like because your sleep gets messed up, your stress level's just different. It's always like on a low simmer, and I'm trying to manage that's a different ball game. So for me, I was a college athlete. So before that, I was pretty intense, probably earlier than most people about fitness and eating and bulking and cutting and 6 meals a day and bodybuilding splits and getting into CrossFit a little bit or functional fitness or whatever you want to call it, and so I was doing it definitely for the purpose of
Vanity.
not vanity. I looked good.
You
but
did. I remember when
not
you
gonna
first
lie.
came
Wow,
work
I did
look
on
good.
Zap, you were.
I was on the basketball
you
team
were
just because they
pretty-
had some cutoff shirts. But,
Everybody, come see how good I look.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I didn't
beaches
play
that
very
way,
much.
and
I didn't play very much in basketball. But anyway,
He was the guy that always took his shirt off as fast as he could.
I did it for the athletic component of it, and I didn't know at the time that passion would probably serve me better than any of the as far as baseball was my thing. So I didn't know that passion would serve me better afterwards than any of the other things. So after that, let's see, I went and kind of took it up another notch in college because there was really nothing to do that was really productive other than, you could party and do all that whole deal. But I went away from that. This is all prior to coming into ministry. Anyway, so I took it up another notch in college, did more of the CrossFit, more metabolic conditioning type route when it goes to training, and came back and got married and had kids and probably went from the best shape of my life to probably the worst shape of my life. And getting out of that rhythm was just, that affected my mental health more than anything. And so I think that a lot of people through the pandemic would probably associate with that your routine has just changed.
Yeah.
Really, your life has probably changed. There's so many things that are different, so many people that are moving careers and jobs and all sorts of things like that you probably like, my routine is done. So I guess my last year in fitness, at least, has been about, let me get that routine back. Yeah. And let me just try my best to have a consistent, set of schedule or set of days that I work out my schedule throughout the week. A consistent, here's what I do, and consistent time that I wake up, and trying to get better with food and all sorts of things like that. So I think that my journey recently has been about conditioning. I work out at a local, funny story, depending on who you are. I tried to get a gym installed when we were building this facility.
Yeah, you did.
We
ran out of room.
Didn't let me.
We talked about how great that would be. What happened there?
Yeah.
I was trying to.
We ran
I
out of
really
room.
was.
Well,
we
he
could work
said it
out
was going to
as
be a
staff.
CrossFit gym, and I
I was
said
going to
no.
ask
Well,
that. Why doesn't this place have like a
Yeah.
Gym.
little
That is a
small
great
little gym?
question.
It's a
Great
common
question.
question.
Great
It's a common, and people
Yeah.
like to come here, could come in, we could all work out
Work out.
together
It'd be
and talk
beautiful.
about Jesus. I think it really would be a
The
great
gym
thing.
community
Gym
and the church community.
Church
I
community.
wonder if
Actually,
this
what
I
it
wonder
is
if it's
that-
a
put
moment
the
that God's
gym in the
speaking
church.
to
No,
us through each other.
Actually, what it is
Actually,
that
and it's still the
we
rooms that
might
I
not
thought we
ever
could
meet
use
Tommy
for the gym.
if we don't go into the gym in the spaces where he is. If we all just stayed in our own. Think about it that way. Go ahead.
So there's different ways you can think
Touche.
about it.
Yeah,
but,
that's good.
It's just a grimace on his face. But yeah, there's you can cut that part out if you want. But that's been my
I don't
journey,
care.
I think, recently, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. What about you?
Me?
Used to work out with you until you kicked me off,
Yeah, we did work out together for a while.
and I was late
And you-
every morning.
Every morning. That
Your
did not
fitness journey
work.
started with volleyball.
That didn't.
Right.
And then
I did do volleyball in 9th grade. I played volleyball for 1 year. No, so mine started after high school. It's funny because today's culture, it's so different now where everybody, if you're in sports, they have personal trainers, they're lifting weights, they're doing all that. It wasn't like that when I was in high school. And so I graduated. It's kind of like what you said. We were talking, I think, off air about it. I graduated high school and I probably weighed 140 pounds, 145 pounds, and I couldn't put any weight on. I was
Yep.
skinny. And then once I started working out with my dad and my brother, he always worked out. That's when I actually started putting on weight and size, and I got up to about 175 in probably a matter of like 6 months or something. But it was just I couldn't put any weight, and so I most of my life have had some sort of routine, some more consistent than others, but you guys all know me. I am like routine person. I want routine. I crave routine. I hate when
Hot
you
tub
suggest
at 5 a.m.
I could do that, but I don't. I don't ever get in a hot tub. But I'm like I wanna. We have a hot tub. I just don't ever get in it. I don't know why it has.
No,
it's not
I'd say
relevant.
that because you do get in the hot tub in the mornings, though, don't you?
I've done it a couple times, but not on a regular.
You've sent us pictures in group text before.
Oh, whoa.
At like 6 a.m. I'm like, what are you doing in the hot? Dude, email us if you get in the hot tub at 6 o'clock in the
I
morning.
don't know the last
think
time
it's
I've done
great.
that, but that's
Put a
fine.
comment in
Yeah.
the chat.
I'll be glad
That's
to.
great.
You know,
You had to say.
I don't. Tommy?
No. So I don't go to the hot tub very much, but we have one. I just don't get in it very often. But anyway, so I like going to the gym. I go 4 days a week, and they're the same 4 days every week. I don't like to change it. I like to.
Elliptical, 30 minutes.
And
No,
you were blessed with
I
a great
do.
metabolism.
I do. I'm blessed with a great
fantastic.
metabolism. No, I always do 20 minutes of cardio, but I switch it up between either elliptical or I do a lot of incline walking
Really?
at high speed. Yeah, actually, I was watching a fitness guy video. He was like, "Dude, stop running. You can burn
Yeah.
more fat and better for you if you just do incline. Set it as high as you can on incline, as fast as you can go without holding on." So that's usually what I do.
It's
And my
tough.
heart rate jumps.
It's
I mean,
tough,
my heart
man.
rate's up to
Yeah.
140, 150.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does well. So I do that, or I'll switch up that or elliptical for about 20 minutes, and then I'll work out. And I usually do different body parts different days. And I love it though. Part of what I love about it is, you mentioned earlier how it makes you feel. I love doing it in the morning. I like it being the first thing I do. I think if I used to a long time ago work out after work. But I find that it's so easy to be distracted, especially once I start in ministry. It's like, oh, I'm not going to be able to leave until 5:30. Oh, I missed. So it's the first thing I want to do in the morning. And I feel the most alive. I think the endorphins get released and everything. So I also find that it sets me up for my most productive time of the week.
Yeah.
So I usually do preparation for the weekend and message prep after it. But I feel most alive after I worked out, take a shower, ready to go. My mind is clear.
Yeah.
And so for me, it actually spills over to the rest of my day and what I do. So I'm a
That's
huge
great.
fan. I would go 5 days a week, except we get together on Wednesdays early in the morning. But other than
Yeah.
that,
And
Yeah.
working out with you is like a cardio workout in and of itself. I mean, you got some
Sometimes.
speed. You're
Sometimes
just,
with
bam, next thing,
superset,
boom,
we
boom,
keep
boom.
going.
Yeah,
You
you're
know what?
focused.
I did
Volume,
that-
baby.
I did a
Yeah,
lot.
that's
Volume.
great.
Yeah, I did a lot more when I have people to work out with.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. If you're working out by yourself, it's a lot harder to
Yeah.
keep yourself motivated to a certain pace and time. But
We were
when
just
I have
talking about
workout
that last
partners,
night.
man,
Yeah.
I love it. You can move so fast.
It
You'll
really
get a
is
lot
great.
done.
Yeah.
It is.
And you, I mean, we joke, but your level of commitment really is inspiring. Like you are devoted, disciplined, and committed.
Yeah, you'll be asking me, hey, do you want to get together? No, I gotta go to the gym.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just don't like messing with my routine. I don't even I go on vacation. I went on vacation in the summer. We went to Florida. I found Planet Fitness down
We
there.
worked out
I
a
went
couple times in Nashville.
Yeah, we worked out in Nashville. I went 4 times when I was at the beach.
4 times.
Well, I get up before everybody else, so I'm going just 15-minute
I've
drive.
done the
I went
sa-
to
I've
the
done the
gym
same thing.
4
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
I went. So I don't like to miss.
Yeah.
I feel so much better if I can just
Yeah.
stay, So I love it.
I've had so many different legs to my fitness journey, and I'm very right now. I'm the heaviest I've ever been.
Really, what is
that
it?
what y'all talking about?
What is it?
Um,
No, he's
I'm
trying to get me to
nice.
sell him a piece of equipment.
Me too.
Workout
Yes.
equipment.
Me
Do you want to
too.
say what it is?
No, I'm not gonna say what it is, but I don't feel. Yeah, so I mean, I joke about it, but this is my excuses. We talk about different places of life. These are just excuses. But for me, over a year of almost no traveling, the last 2 months of traveling again, trying to wrap up the first book, and then a couple other stressors have just they've kind of kicked my butt. As
Are
far
those
as
reasons or excuses?
I just said they're excuses.
Okay. just
Yeah.
verifying.
So if I own it, you bring comfort. If I make excuses, then you bring challenge.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So the first half of my life, almost the first whole half of my life was baseball, church basketball, and martial arts. So I've always had some sort of exercise in there. It wasn't until 9th grade that me and my buddy Ray found out my parents had a bench and barbell in the basement.
There
And
you
so
go.
that's when I started working out. And I have been not consistent, especially with diet, but I have pretty much been in a gym every week since then. Again, sometimes way more consistently than others. And the grin of condemnation. The grin of condemnation.
I was thinking of something you told me just recently.
Yeah, so
Sorry. I don't want to say.
what is it? So anyways,
Well, you had told me. No, you're like,
just
man,
say it.
I haven't
Yeah.
been to the. You were in a very busy season.
oh yeah.
And so you had just.
Oh, yeah,
you
it'd been a
admitted
couple
to me, You were
weeks.
like, it'd been a couple
Very
weeks.
Yes,
That's why I was
yes.
grinning when you said I've pretty
Spiritual.
much
Yes.
been
This
in
guy's
the gym
been
every
writing a
week of my
book.
life
I mean,
since then.
come on
Spiritual,
now.
I'm saying. I've been in a busy.
So
No, he did.
anyways,
It's been a busy season for him. I mean, he's
there are excuses though. But
he's
anyways,
getting a lot done though.
my first, I
would
will
never
say,
talk to you
here's
like
the thing. My first, the motivation during the first half of my life when I was lifting weights was primarily vanity. High school years, college years, and then I did what I call the Men's Health diet, the Men's Health magazine. This is back in the day of whatever you do, just Splenda and cheap fats. And whatever it takes to get abs. I was subscribed to Men's Health magazine for like a decade, and I call it the Men's Health diet. It doesn't really matter if you're healthy, just whatever can.
We call it the Greg Plitt diet. He was the first.
What was it called?
Greg Plitt. Do you remember him?
No.
He was one of the first model fitness guys I ever saw on TV.
Sugar-free everything, fat-free everything.
Yeah.
Just that's what you did.
Yep.
And so I was actually in really decent shape, but then you get older. And my second year when I was in Lexington, Kentucky, I'd been out of the gym for a while, and I'd eaten like I'd always eaten, but also with a few extra burgers. And I got heart palpitations for the first time. And I went and I went to the doctor, and they're like, you might even have like a slight like heart murmur, heart palpitation. About this time, a few different factors had happened. I know we're talking about fitness, but for me, nutrition's always been kind of irrevocably linked to all of that. And my sister and my brother-in-law had started working at Whole Foods and gotten to a little bit more of the organic, like all natural kind of diet. And then I read a book called The Maker's Diet that Andy Stanley's dad wrote the foreword to, which was, this, people would have all different kind of views on it, but it's supposedly a blend of science and faith and this kind of natural approach to nutrition. And I took a 40-day Maker's Diet Challenge, which is primarily focused on what's organically good for you, not as much focused on weight. But the result was the heart palpitations went away in 3 days, and I lost 30 pounds in 40 days. And it was about that time that I also got introduced to the first version of what I guess would eventually become CrossFit. They called it ISO Hybrid Strength and Conditioning. A whole lot of drop sets and supersets and circuits and ever since then, I've tried to, and I dabble with CrossFit for a while, and have done CrossFit here and there, but have always just really loved the gym. In my good seasons, I'm there 5-6 days a week. In seasons like right now, it's 2 days a week. But I've since that season.
2 days so far this week already.
You know what? Me and you, the last 2 days we've been, and we're going today at 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've tried to add a little bit more of strength and conditioning. Over the last couple of years, I've added running. For the first time last winter, to talk about mental health, one of the things that helped me face the winter was I fell in love with running in the cold. Yeah, I would leave here. I always thought I would hate that. There were times in January I remember 18 degrees, and I would leave here, especially I remember one Sunday that for whatever reason was really stressful. I left straight from here, went down to Scioto Mile, and it was 18 degrees, put on a hoodie, and ran for an hour. Around there, and it was one of the most invigorating things. But I will say, I think over the last 10 years, my inner motivation is, I'd like to look a little better. You sent me a video last night from me at the gym, and I saw my 5 necks, and I was like, something's got to change. But primarily my motivation has been, I want to feel more energy. I want to feel better. I want to, to be spiritual, if God has a call in my life, I don't want my own stupidity or laziness or gluttony. I want to, as the nutritionist would say, maybe cheesily, I want to eat to live instead of live to eat. And that if I have a purpose in my life, I want to fuel myself
God gave
for the
you
long
a body
haul.
too.
Yeah.
We only get one of these, so take care of it the best way you know how.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your rhythm? What's your routine like?
It's much like what you said. It's routine. For me, it's like if somebody asked me to do something after work, now I'm a little bit more flexible, I would say. Before it was just like, absolutely no, I got to get this in. But for me, it's just to keep since I work at home, I sit a lot, so that's my activity level has to go up at some point. And so typically I'm at the gym for 2 hours or so, maybe sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more, but it just makes me physically feel amazing. When I know, and it's a lot of, for me, if in the past, I've really struggled mentally getting past hurdles, whatever it was in my life. So during your workout, you will hit these spots where you're like, I want to stop. Yeah. This hurts. Like, if I do 5 more, it's going to really hurt. But I think that's what I love about it, because it's consistently challenging myself in a world where we're all basically isolated a little bit more than we used to be. So since I'm at home all the time, I really like to take my time and go to the gym and kind of do it my own way. But it also, I'm not a big sweater, but I like, me and him got up on the Stairmaster last night. I love getting on there 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever I can do.
I lasted 5.
Yeah, he lasted 5.
I do not like Stairmaster.
Yeah, I used to hate it. I used to hate it, but I've grown to love it. Yeah. But for me, it's just for the overall just mental, serotonin levels, so I can just kind of, when I get home, it helps me to fall asleep too, because it'll make you more tired. It'll make you sleep better.
The best moments are when you finish and you're walking out of the gym. That's when you feel the best.
Especially when
like,
you
I
have...
did that. I worked out, and I feel done.
The best moments are when you get done with the workout, and then you go to the sauna. That's the dessert at the end of a good workout.
Okay.
Or if you're Russ, it's a keto pizza from Massey's.
The entire thing.
That too, the entire thing.
But, I think it's, it used to be appearance more so. Now it's just to keep, to keep me...
I love it.
To keep me in a good routine.
Okay. Real quick, rapid fire. What are any supplements or any? What do you take at all around workouts? Pre-workout, post-workout, protein. What do you do?
I take less now than I ever have.
Yeah, you used to take a lot of things.
I'm more branch chains, and I
Yep.
just kind of try to hydrate with those all day. And I like a good. I try to
amino acids
do
for those
green,
who are
right, branch
don't
chains,
know.
amino acids. Like I used
Yeah.
to do like the whole pre-workout protein shake with the simple carb, post-workout
Yeah.
protein. Which there's things about like that I liked, but I do more branch chains now, and I try to get like a really good green supplement
Yep.
in
Digestion.
every
Yep.
day, and that affects my sleep a lot. I've noticed I got my sleep little thing. When I take my greens, I'm like sleep's 100%.
Really?
Because it's
different.
usually if you're not sleeping, there's a deficiency in your body.
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially if you get restless legs. I don't know if you guys get. I used to struggle with that a lot.
RLS.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it comes from like staring at your phone during the night, but also it's a nutrient deficiency.
There's a
So-
you know who Mark Sisson is? Mark Sisson, guy's been in the health industry
that
for a
up
long
in Tascola?
time. No, Mark Sisson started the Primal Kitchen brand, so the paleo, keto kind of
Yeah.
dressings and all the,
Yeah.
all the food. He started all that, and I really like his philosophy. But he talks a lot about just nutrition, and he does keto. He eats keto every once in a while, but just talks about metabolic variability and getting nutrients in your body. And so I've really tried to focus on like the whole foods I'm eating more so. So
yeah,
and
that's
usually when I'm eating,
Because you can get a lot of amino acids from food.
Oh, yeah,
Creatine's in steak,
Oh,
red
yeah,
meat.
absolutely. And when you get that in your body, like those whole foods, like I just say to somebody who's like, "Well, I'm so far away from that." It's like
Yeah.
what I do is not special, but I do think I eat a lot better when I focus on. Can I get 2 whole servings of fruits in every day? Can I get 2 whole servings
Yeah.
of vegetables
Yeah.
in every day?
Yeah.
And you just eat it like that.
That's good.
It's good.
What about you? What do you? Any supplements or what do you take around workouts?
Yeah, so my routine, typically an hour and a half before I work out, I'll have some sort of carbohydrate, something. Rice cakes, oatmeal.
Banana?
Yeah, banana, fruit, whatever it is. And I take a non-stim pre-workout, something to help the blood flow, because that's when you're working out. Caffeine. A lot of people focus so much around caffeine in a pre-workout, and it's just really bad for your body. For anybody listening, don't drink energy drinks before you go to the
Yes.
gym. They don't have pre-workout ingredients in them. They will.
I would say
caffeine.
don't drink energy drinks.
No. There's energy drinks have their place. I'll say don't drink energy drinks before you go into the gym because.
Wouldn't you say certain energy drinks have their place? Cleaner ones?
Well, I don't. I mean, I would just say monitor your caffeine levels over anything else because I'll have a 3D Energy. It's got 200 milligrams of caffeine if I don't have a coffee. That's what I'll kind of
They
supplement it
just
with.
usually have a ton of caffeine and a ton of sugar.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
they're just like some of the worst
Yep.
things that you could actually.
And there's
take
some
in
there's
your
some
body.
decent ones now
Yeah.
that you can drink that aren't. I actually prefer ones that have as little caffeine as possible, but the caffeine just restricts blood flow, and that's why me and my friend Paul at Bullfrog we always try to preach about that.
Paul Callahan.
Paul
That's his buddy.
Callahan.
I love Paul.
Talk about
Yeah.
Bullfrog.
Tell Paul
Yeah.
Kevin said hi.
Yeah, shout out to Bullfrog Nutrition. They just
Yeah,
opened a
okay.
store in Pickerington.
And you
They-
helped open it.
I helped open it.
No way.
Yeah, it's his
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah, I knew Paul Callahan knew me back in high school. He helped
Wow,
coach baseball
really?
with me.
Yeah.
You can tell Paul I
He
said
knows
hi.
a ton of people from baseball.
Yeah, he got me into the honor one year.
But they preach a lot about knowing what's flowing through your body, knowing what's going through your liver and kidneys. It's like it's really important to know that what a company puts on their label is actually in the product. So that's where I buy all my stuff. I trust him.
Paul is a huge man. Paul is very
Paul's
large.
like Kevin, but like, yeah, he's like Kevin. He's about the same size as Kevin. He's just jacked.
Paul,
Like,
I was talking, is like he was.
or Zach. I'm sorry. He's like Zach.
Zach.
Sorry.
6'3".
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
About to
Sorry.
say, like-
Yeah.
He wasn't going to
So
deny it. He's like,
so
I'm
he's
like,
Keep that in.
There's too many
Kevin,
people in
he's
here, man.
Jack.
I don't know.
He basically said it's just like
Yeah.
you, but
I
Jack.
know. That's how I'm known
He's
around here.
he's just
That's how I'm
your
known.
size,
But
big.
Paul, okay, so Paul's the type of guy when he used to coach us in baseball, he'd laugh at this. He'd bring the tuna and asparagus and brown rice on the bus as we're trying. It's like, dude, you can't eat salmon on the bus. It smells. But anyway, he's talking to us about, I incline benched just a little workout, it's like 350 for I'm like, what? Incline bench, 350.
Yeah.
But Paul, shout out to Paul. I miss Paul.
He's a good
Haven't seen him
dude.
in a long time.
But yeah, I mean, and then I just focus around getting The reason I drink a protein shake after my workout, it's not for timing or anything. It's just a supplement.
Yeah.
50 grams.
Yep, extra
That's all it
protein.
is.
Yep.
So
You
have they
can get
done
this-
with the science that says 15-minute window?
No, it used to be 30 minutes. It's complete. It's whatever. It's not.
Yeah.
You know, your body is more susceptible to absorbing a lot after your workout, so you should put something in it.
Yeah.
Carbs, they say, John Meadows was a guy that was really popular in this area, and he passed away a few months ago. But he always said carbs right around your workout, and I believe that. I mean, but yeah, I mean, I take a little bit of carbs during my workout in the form of a drink, so just kind of helps with having a pump.
Hold on, let's talk about that for a second.
Helping
'Cause in
energy.
your drink, you put something that you turned me on to that has changed my life called, what's the brand? The Nut Butters.
I don't put that in my drink.
You told me you do.
In my drink?
Yes.
No, it's just
In your
it's-
smoothie.
No, oh yeah, my smoothies. Okay, yeah.
So,
Okay.
if you have, even if you don't like nut butters, even if you don't like almond butter, cashew butter, peanut butter, I saw you did a story one time. I was like, I have to buy that, and it is the greatest thing in the universe. Dream, what is
delicious.
it? Dream butter.
American Dream Nut Butters.
American Dream Nut Butters. Just gonna give a shameless plug, and if you guys are listening, just you can pay me for it. But they have like every type of nut butter, all these different flavors.
Almond butter, cashew, and peanut butter. Yeah,
And they're lower
fantastic.
sugar and
What are
carb,
they, Buzz?
higher protein. No, it's just they're
it-
literally
it's a-
like a
it's a
jar
jar,
of
scoop.
It's
Like
a
one's
jar.
like the one I got is like peanut butter, but it's got all these Reese's and chocolate, but it's lower sugar, higher protein.
Really?
Like 10% of
lower carb. I need
proceeds
to
go
get
to
that 'cause I
military
put-
or something
I
like
put
that.
a small amount of natural peanut butter in my shake,
Yep.
protein shake.
Yep.
I should do something like that
Yep.
instead, shouldn't I?
It's
Learn something.
Oh,
and you can
so
also
good.
like I don't know if you have a food scale, but just to know exactly what's pulling out, they
Yeah.
put all the facts on the back and stuff. But yeah, they also support the military
Send me
too,
the
which is
link.
pretty
I
cool.
need that. That's
yeah,
good.
I will.
What about you? You take anything?
Uh,
At all?
I drink coffee.
I'm just totally messing with you. Do you take anything?
Russ drinks
Do
coffee.
you do it? Yeah,
We're
other
gonna-
than coffee, other than pour over
we're
right
gonna
before
we're
workout.
gonna do. Listen, we're gonna do
Piping
a
hot.
This is morning coffee or morning
Right.
routine.
Piping
Yeah.
hot pour over for me pre-workout.
we're gonna do a return episode when
Oh
I get
my-
back in shape, so without the
Okay,
judgment.
what is it?
But
What do you do?
Shirt off.
Austin Irwin, yeah, I'm gonna do it with just like a tank top. Austin Irwin, who actually used to go to our gym, but comes to our church. He got me into the EEAs or EAAs that I just put
Yep.
into water before a workout. In the morning, there's about 5 or 6 different vitamins I'll try to take, multivitamins,
You
daily
do.
stuff.
You've
yeah.
always taken vitamins.
So I'll
I'm
do
terrible at
those.
Extremely important.
I'm terrible at that.
Yeah.
I'll do
don't
like
take
a
any
muscle
vitamins.
milk protein right after if I don't go straight to Massey's and get keto pizza, cauliflower, extra cheese,
You
pepperoni.
put
But
everything back
also-
into your
Cider
body
ranch.
and
I
you
know.
burn. Every
Cider
and then
ranch,
some.
not the packet, but in the container, so I can. Yep. Yeah. I tell you, the best supplements, the best I've ever felt in my life, working out, but also energy-wise and just overall health-wise. But it's really expensive. I'm curious if you heard of it. Is the Vega brand, VEGA? Brendan Fraser is a vegan triathlete.
Yeah.
And I would never go vegan, but he wrote a bunch of books that I read, I don't know, about 9 or 10 years ago. Talked a lot about energy replenishment and about talking about like caffeine, about Americans are chronically have their adrenal glands just burned out. And since we don't have nutritional energy, we use the form of borrowed energy from caffeine, and then we just need more borrowed energy, and we don't have nutritional energy. Anyways, he's got a lot of brilliant stuff, but he created a line of sports products, proteins, pre-workouts, but it's all clean. It's all organic. It's not like even the stimulants are non-harsh. They're made from like yerba mate and green teas,
Green
and
tea, yeah.
and so it's just expensive. I think you can only get it from Whole Foods. But if anybody out there is just loaded and you're looking for a supplement brand that is clean and healthy for you, that will make you feel the best, the Vega products. They have another one that's it's a post-workout, but not protein, but just all of the things that your body needs to replenish is really, really, really
And
good.
if you're not loaded, go see Paul at Bullfrog Nutrition.
Yes.
There you
yes.
I want to come see Paul. I haven't seen Paul in forever.
Do you think we
1168
bored
Hill Road
people
North.
enough with workout
I think
podcasts?
it's great. Speaking of working
We
out,
all like it. I
Hey,
just
by
can
the
imagine.
how about let's say this, because you
wired.
mentioned this. What if somebody's about to turn this off because they're like, "Look, I'm just hopelessly out of shape, and I don't even
Well,
know where to start."
I think-
what tips would you give for somebody that is interested, or I don't know, just they've not worked out in forever, maybe they've never worked out, maybe they just feel discouraged and out of shape, unhealthy? What's some like basic getting back into it tips?
I think biggest thing is try to find somebody to go with, so
Yeah.
you're not going by yourself. Also, just know that people in the gym, we're all trying to do the same thing, just like they are. So whoever it is, set a goal, everybody has to have a goal. You can't work out without a goal. Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to, lean out? Do you want to build muscle? Whatever. And then put a date on it and check back on yourself. Hold yourself accountable. And also just start tracking what's going in your body. You don't have to do every meal, but just get to understand, how much 4 to 6 grams or 4 to 6 ounces of chicken looks like, or 1 serving of rice or whatever. Because that will, once you're eating well, it makes the workouts better. Because you're not just working off calories you just ate from Wendy's. You're working off, maybe you're going to lean out because you've only had 1,000 or 1,500 calories that day or whatever it is.
And it's really cool. I was listening to, there's this book, I don't know if it was in this episode or the last one, we're talking about how you feel best when all those areas of your life are together. There's this book I really want to buy that Carey Nieuwhof just put out called At Your Best. And it's talking about when all the areas of your life are optimally functioning. But he interviewed somebody this past week, Charles Duhigg, who 10 years ago wrote the famous book, The Power of Habit. It was a New York Times bestseller and talked about the habit loop of reward and cue and all of that. And he was one of the people that really re-emphasized and repopularized that concept of keystone habit. And they were talking about all the studies, and it sounds really obvious, but they're talking about all the studies of if you have a healthy meal in the morning, you're way more likely to work out. And if you do any kind of exercise in the morning, you're way likely to eat healthier. And I just think one of the other reasons it's powerful to talk about this is, in fact, going back to the last episode, for you, it almost seems like your keystone habit was commitment. It seems like that's what you've brought into every area of your life. You said, I've committed to go to church. It almost seems like your commitment to work out has gone into every other area. But I think it's just powerful to at least consider the fact of whether it's starting to eat better or even just work out 3 days a week with a partner. That could be a keystone habit that literally filters into every area of life.
The other thing is when you go out to eat, there's always some sort of healthy option.
Yeah.
You can always find a healthy option somewhere. So don't feel bad about being the person that orders a salad with whatever fat-free dressing they have too. There's ways to just kind of, you can still enjoy life.
Yeah.
But, I think it just all, like you said, it goes hand in hand. And it's like for me, I'm kind of obsessive about stuff. If I'm doing something, I'm all in. If I'm not all in, it'll just kind of fade away.
Yeah. But you all seem to have a good balance of.
I used to not.
Of not having perfectionism.
Yeah.
I think too, just to add to that, and I think that's and you can close this out if you want. I think for those who do not work out regularly, and I do think that one of the challenges is, I think those who were I don't want to say it like you're an athlete, but you did sports and athletics and maybe worked out when you were younger. I think it's easier for those people to carry those habits into whereas I know people that didn't play a lot of sports, didn't do all that. For them, just starting to work out, even as you get later, is so hard. Yeah. It's foreign. It's difficult. Yeah. I don't know where to start. I feel judged. All that. I would say, even to add to the goal part, be more focused on process than you are on the product.
Yeah.
So think about here's what I want to do. I want to go to the gym 3 times this week. Mm-hmm. When you're starting out, just think of consistency. Even the same thing with and I guess approach physical fitness. It's great to have goals because you need to be able to kind of keep yourself accountable, but take the long game.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times
things
that's
don't
what's
change
so
overnight,
hard.
man.
But when you Instagram, you're scrolling, you're looking at people who are in shape, and you're going, and you're looking in the mirror going, I got to get in shape. Mm-hmm. I think people get so discouraged because I went to the gym 3 times this week. I about killed myself. It was awful. I got on the scale. Nothing's changed. Mm-hmm. And do not let that measurement keep you from developing something that's very healthy, that's in the long game. It might be a year, but 2 years, 3 years, but at some point you're going to look back and go, wow, I created this.
I'm proud
habit.
of myself.
I'm healthier.
I'm proud of myself.
And I think and then I would just add to that. I said, do a little bit of time. If you feel like, hey, I'm just unhealthy physically and I just know where to start, I'm going to do it all. Mm-hmm. Don't do that. Don't do it all. Commit to go, I'm going to go find a partner. I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week. Start there. Then as you do that for a month or 2 months, then go, okay, I'm going to start tracking my food. I think that the tendency would be, I'm going to do it all.
You get overloaded.
I'm going to take
and
this
burn
kind
out.
of pre-workout and I'm going to only eat this and I'm going to track this. And I think it becomes so much that you just can be discouraged
That's
so
why I said
easily. Don't do all that.
Don't overload yourself.
Just start. And like for me this year, I just really got focused at the beginning of the year on what I'm eating and tracking what I'm putting in my body and trying to create a lifestyle. And it made a significant difference at my age because I'm just like, boy, I used to have fast metabolism. I could just eat whatever, whenever. And my weight didn't change. And then it's like I got older and it's like, oh, I can't do that anymore. So now I have to really pay attention to it. And I watch myself all the time. But I've been working out for 20-some years, just on doing this kind of thing. So I can do tweaks and things like that, but I already have a consistent habit of one part of it in my life. So now I should
and if you're somebody that listens to the podcast that does not come to X Church, maybe you come to X Church and find somebody that wants to work out with you.
Come on, workout
go.
partner.
There we go. Yeah, I've loved this conversation. I just think it's fun to. I think that it's the ecosystem of your life. Like you can't. We're a lot of different parts as human beings, right? We're spiritual, we're physical, we're mental, emotional, and so you can't. It's almost impossible to be fully healthy, operating on, going full steam ahead on every area. But the implications of not putting effort or resources into one, it's going to greatly affect and this is just personal experience, but I think that this is maybe maybe a message for somebody. It's like when my physical health is off to the side and I'm not putting time, effort, thought, resources into it, my spiritual health absolutely deteriorates.
Yeah.
And when those two things deteriorate, my mental, emotional health suffer greatly.
Depression starts coming in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so my days when I just put some effort and some discipline into both, working out, getting outside, breathing in some fresh air, just putting on clothes and doing something as the sun's coming up or however your schedule allows you to, that matters. And that matters in every area of your life. And so I think that's why this conversation on this podcast is important, because it talks about the whole, right? Yeah. And that I think that when we talk about following Jesus and we talk about spirituality and thriving in that way, you have to pay attention and be aware of other. And I would say this to the money thing that we were talking about, and we were joking about it a little bit, but I've never spent $1 in physical fitness that I've regretted.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I've spent a lot of money in it.
Right.
And there's not $1 that I've spent.
So spend it now or spend it later in medical bills.
Right.
Spend it now, wellness, and later with illness.
Sure.
And I've bought stuff, supplements and whatever that I've tried, or the gym memberships that I've tried. I'm like, well, that's not for me.
Yeah.
But I've never regretted it.
Right.
I just learned.
No.
I agree.
Yeah.
And so if you're like starting off and you're like, oh, well, what would you love to do? Maybe you're like, I've never done anything, but you'd love to try yoga. Go try yoga. Go spend $10, $15, $20, $30. You will not regret.
They just say get up and move your body. Half the time you just got to get going.
Go get a gym membership and try going. And
Planet Fitness is cheap.
Right.
You want to start at $10 a month if you want to do the single location. It's cheap. So
my guy Kevin Taylor, right in town, Taylor Fitness, but had to do a plug for him. Yeah. But we are just so thankful for everybody who has listened, and we hope this has just added to your life in some way. Shoot us an email, podcast@thex.church, and if you have any questions for Tommy, Tommy, how can somebody follow you and be involved in your stuff?
Follow me on Instagram, Tommy Dawson _.
Tommy Dawson _ Awesome. Thank you, man, for being with us.
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
Awesome.
But we love all of you who are listening, watching, like, subscribe, share, and comment, and email us, podcast@thex.church. We love you. We'll see you for the next episode.